Welcome back to the archive. If you haven't seen the first episode, aka May 2008, go check it out now for an intro to this series. The first video in October 2008 has me looking outside my window at night time while talking about getting Simpsons Monopoly soon, so I think we'll just skip this video. The next video starts off like this.
For a long time now, our virus scanner, known as McAfee, has been having a weird issue. I shall show you now.
Why am I suddenly so formal in this video saying, I shall show you now? I never use those words. Anyway, let's see what the problem is.
And so when McAfee opens, none of the security stuff is in there. It just opens with nothing.
If it were me experiencing that issue today, I'd just reinstall McAfee, but it looks like I'm calling tech support.
Please note that your call will be recorded and may be used for quality assurance.
Wow, not only is that totally immature, but I think that's just about the worst lip sync I've ever seen.
May I have your email address or the purchase request number, please?
Oh boy, this is what I used to always dread telling people.
The email address is tweetypie@bigpond.com and it's TWE.
My mum made it up because she said it sounded cute, but telling people that my email address was tweetypie@bigpond.com always embarrassed me.
T for Echo, W for Whiskey, B for Bravo, double E for Echo, Y for Yellow, P Peter, I Ice Cream, E Echo at bigpond.com.
Did you get the first T at the beginning?
This was always a nightmare with McAfee, dealing with accent differences causing difficulties understanding what we were saying to each other.
Oh, no. T, and then after the first T, there's a W.
I'm sorry I'm not able to get any records.
Obviously just telling him my email address is taking forever, so let's skip forward a few minutes to see if I finally get it through to him.
T for Tom,
Yep.
W for Whiskey, B for Bravo, double E for Echo.
Oh, there's quite a few mistakes in there. There's a W for whiskey, as you know, and then there's an E for egg.
W for whiskey, as you know. It sounds like I'm doing some kind of spelling lesson with him. This is just getting too silly, so let's move on to the next video titled Looking Forward to Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we're gonna film Nana and Grandpa eating at the dining table using our camcorder.
That's just about the strangest video idea I've ever heard of. So let's skip forward a day and see if I actually do. The next video is actually titled First Nana and Grandpa Eating Video, which gives me the impression that there will be more of these. On the bright side though, at least this video is recorded with a camcorder outside my bedroom rather than the typical webcam video.
Great day for the beach.
I wouldn't think so, Dad.
Huh?
I wouldn't think so,
Oh,
Dad.
marvellous. Great.
No way. I wouldn't go near the beach on a day like today.
Don't know what you're missing.
I do. Freezing cold, shivering and shaking and teeth chattering. That's what I'm missing.
It's funny how Mummy's talking about it being too cold outside to do things, such as go to the beach and so on, yet 10 years later she moved to Tasmania, the coldest state in Australia. Anyway, what you are seeing is a typical weekend lunch where Nana and Grandpa would come over and bring a pot roast, and would all eat together while chatting, although this particular weekend my dad left early, so he wasn't really in this video for long. Anyway, let's listen to a bit of typical conversation.
Do you know what Friday was for Ben and I?
No.
16th wedding anniversary.
God.
And Dad, I remember when I was 17 and I first told you I was getting married and you and Mum were arguing in the kitchen saying,
Give it 5 years and I'm bloody invisible. Not me, Grandpa.
I remember that, Dad. And what do you have to say about that?
Nothing.
Do you take your words back?
Nothing.
Do you take back what you
I
said?
know nothing. Just heat the meat so I can cut it, please.
Do you take back what you said?
Looks like.
I think so.
It's funny because Grandpa never liked to admit that he was wrong, but Mum usually never gives up until she proves that she's right.
He's only got one more term to go of this year, then he can unite, and thank God he got into the course that he wanted to. Computer studies, you pick elective subjects. He got a virus off another kid's computer by talking to him over the phone, talking him through steps. He removed a virus off another kid's computer, which could have cost hundreds.
Well.
Yeah, Philip is just an absolute computer whiz.
All I did was tell my friend Josh Josh to download a specific virus remover that removed the virus off his computer. That doesn't make me an absolute computer whiz. Anyway, typical arguments between my grandparents were pretty funny. So let's check out one now, where Nana is trying to put all of the leftover meat into one single overflowing container rather than having it in two separate ones.
Don't put any more there, Berserker.
No, just leave it.
Please, just leave them.
Any more there?
Whatever you're trying to do.
I tried to put that all together.
No, don't. It's okay. Got a mania for that.
So he's just told her not to add any more food to the container. But watch what she does just a few seconds later.
She can't help it.
Oh,
Yup, she quickly poured the whole lot in as fast as she could before anybody could stop her. Anyway, later that day I talk about how I got the Simpsons electronic banking monopoly, which we still have today as Jasmine and I recently played it. However, let's skip forward to the next day, which has a video of my dad and I playing it, while my Uncle Matthew and little cousin Mark watch. And remember that time when Mark attacked Matthew in episode 4? Well, another attack is about to occur. Or should I say, another 3.
Oh, I'm
It's good to be on radio, wouldn't it, Book? I'd love to be on radio.
Look, it's so easy. You put it in
So
there.
fun. You were on radio. Your head was about to explode.
What are you putting? Ah! What's going on?
Be careful of his head. You almost flattened his head.
Oh man, what's going on? You taking that for?
2M, isn't it, Phil? Phil, is it just 2M?
Yeah.
Marky! Marky!
Okay, I think it's your go, Phil.
Poor Matthew. Mark was always known to randomly attack Matthew, which probably explains why in 2014 his favourite game was Grand Theft Auto 5. It also looks like he's just escaped jail with that white and black stripy convict outfit. I must say, based on his recent activities, it definitely suits him.
When I would work there full time,
You better be careful what he's recording or what we're talking, because he puts it on YouTube or something.
No, I don't.
Philip doesn't, he just puts on the hard
No.
drive.
Yeah, I won't put this on YouTube for another decade. Anyway, the next video on the archive is another Monopoly video, and the video after that is just another video where I play hide and seek with Obi as seen in episode 5. So let's move on to a video where I try to prank my mum with an alarm sound. As you can see, I'm hiding the webcam up high as my mum always expects me to be recording, but unfortunately this prank just doesn't work as she finds the camera 10 seconds after sitting down.
Okay, Phil, turn off your webcam right now. Off it comes. I know Knuffles is holding it. Off it comes.
What? I seriously had a stuffed toy holding the webcam. What an awful hiding spot. In the next video, I talk about my first 2 days back at school after the school holidays.
I've survived the first 2 days of school back. Anyway, I'll tell you a few things that have happened. I can't remember anything. Proves I haven't learnt anything.
Haven't learnt anything? Surely you've learnt something. Explain something you've done.
I'll tell you something funny that happened in German on Monday, so this was yesterday, and we had a substitute teacher, Mr. Lowe. He's a really kind teacher, and we sort of had nothing to do, no work, so we had to watch a TV show in German. We had to watch Mr. Bean, and Mr. Lowe said, this is the best show to watch in German because Mr. Bean never talks.
So let me get this right. Since the substitute German teacher had no work for us, he simply got us to watch something in German. Out of everything, he chose episodes of the early 1990s Mr. Bean series, which practically has no talking in it whatsoever. No wonder I didn't learn anything. Anyway, a few days later at school, I made a clay model of someone standing on a beach in their boxers, so at least I'm actually being somewhat productive. But for a bit of fun the next day, I decide to prank my dad with prankdialer.com, and this time, it actually catches him off guard and works really well, as I make the phone ring right after another phone call and pretend to be really disappointed.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
That just took ages. You were just on the phone. You were chosen on again.
Hello.
Hey, this is Jimmy Gibbs with Rick Summon calling to offer you some great specials on Summon. Are you interested? That's great. Listen, I can tell just by listening to the sound of your voice that there is some poop inside of your balls. No.
There's some poo on my balls.
This sounds a little weird, but just let me tell you.
Seriously? He said poop in your walls. Not what you just said. You really think a plumber is going to call you up about helping you remove poop off your balls?
A lot of older houses, even some of the newer ones, the plumbing is rigged up in such a way that all of the poopy stuff goes inside the walls around your house. And that is not good for anybody. So what I'm trying to offer you here is $100. I will come into your house, I will break down them barriers, them walls, and I will pull all the poop out of it. I will put that poop inside of a container that poop cannot get out of. I will take care of your poop. Does that sound like something you would be interested in?
No, dude.
I'm surprised by this point he hasn't worked out it's a joke, but now the Prank Dialer theme song is about to play, so this has got to give it away.
Hello?
How thick can you get? He's literally saying hello and getting confused about it when it literally said prankdialer.com.
What was that? Didn't you hear the end? Prankdialer.com.
No, there was mumbling. I didn't understand. It was just a bunch of mumbling. I thought someone...
Remember, you've been pranked by prankdialer.com. That's what this is.
Oh, I didn't know.
Anyway, the next day is Sunday, which means Nana and Grandpa are coming over again with another pot roast, and due to the lighting issues from the last lunchtime recording, we moved the blinds back to stop the light coming in from the background, turning everybody into silhouettes. So this video will be much easier to see. Anyway, when Nana initially tried to sit down, she almost tipped over the table.
One day you're going to tip a table over yourself, you know.
I like how instead of arguing with my grandpa's criticism towards her, she simply agreed to it. That's certainly the fastest way to end an argument. And there goes our good lighting. Since these videos were technically filmed in secret, we couldn't exactly tell them to push the curtain back to improve the lighting.
Oh, that's been quite cold actually.
Need some brick.
Oh, I'm too cold. I'm cold. I'll have to put
I'm
it
really
down.
hot.
Well, I'm really cold.
Once again, I still find it crazy how she was cold in Sydney, which is a very hot city, yet 10 years later she decides to move to Tasmania, which is the coldest state in Australia. Anyway, I wasn't actually in this video, and I'll let my mum explain why.
Philip's gone with Matthew to the warehouse to look at computers.
You collect cold water.
Yeah, I do.
Just in case anyone missed it, Dinah explains it again a minute later.
Anything to do with computers. You see, Matthew rang up a while ago and said, Philip, do you want to come with me to the warehouse? I'm doing a few things with some computers. And Philip said, yes, straight away, anything to do with computers. Do you know what I mean?
Where is Philip?
I just said, with
Oh,
Matthew.
don't you listen?
No, I would be nice. Can I?
Well,
He was just telling us that he's gone with
Matthew.
Matthew to look at computers.
Good on it.
Even I heard that.
It was actually a really cool experience. He had a storage unit full of hundreds of working computers from the early 80s to the late 90s, including the Apple II Plus and the compact Macintosh 128K. But his wife ordered him to take all of the computers down to the local tip to be crushed, so it was a bittersweet situation. It's kind of good I wasn't at home though, because if I was, I would have bursted out laughing upon seeing my grandpa accidentally pour juice on his lunch.
What happened there?
He was pretty quick to eat the rest of his food after that before the juice fully soaked in. A little later, they got a surprise visitor that everybody is happy about. Well, everybody except for my dad.
Oh, someone's at the door. I can hear. I heard.
So Phil come back, is it?
No.
Oh, oh, we have to shut all the doors. Shut all the bedroom doors. And the bathroom doors. No, don't get one much
You are a disgrace.
You know what he did? I heard him scratching at the door.
Nana had an ice block from a petrol station on the way to coming over for lunch, and she promised that it wouldn't ruin her appetite. Let's see if she keeps her promise.
Why aren't you eating?
I can't. I just have a hard block before.
Oh, you had a nice block.
I knew that about it. That's why I didn't want to get you the bloody ice block.
I just feel like to have one.
Do you want that?
No.
Pretty good.
Not much left for you, eh?
Before long though, his owner knocks at our door and we find out the true reason he ran away from home to visit us.
He can smell our land.
You come in for lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows I've got a bath where you...
Oh, okay.
That's why he's a pig. That we got a bath and he knows, so shot through.
That's why he came expecting it out of him.
Oh,
Because he's got a bath waiting at his place.
so he's hiding.
That's why he coming.
He's a smart dog.
In regards to going with Matthew to look at computers, he ended up giving me a late 90s Scion Series 5 PDA device, which I guess you could call an early cross between a laptop and a mobile phone, although you couldn't call anybody on it, and it had a 16 colour Graystar 5.6 inch LCD screen at a resolution of 640 by 240 with only a few megabytes of RAM. I remember downloading a variety of different demo apps onto it via an 8 megabyte SD card. I even converted web pages to PDF files on my computer so that I could read them in bed or out and about on the device, rather than bringing physical book versions of websites around with me. Sadly though, the device didn't last long as the screen stopped working pretty early on. Wikipedia mentions this problem was due to moving parts causing failure of the screen cable. In the next video, I discuss my excitement to upgrade to Vista Service Pack 2, but that doesn't come out for another year or so, and in the next video I discuss my idea to get a job to earn some money.
Since I was 14, I could get a job. I'm deciding I want to work at McDonald's.
McDonald's. If I want to work there, I'd better pronounce it right. It's McDonald's, not McDonald's. I probably thought you sell Mac computers there or something. Anyway, this video is pretty boring. I just fill out a job application form and that's about it. So let's move on to the next video.
I got the sun working. See? It sort of crashed and I had to do a soft reset on it by going to the battery and putting a pen into it, like, you know.
That gadget certainly had quite a lot of issues, but considering it's from the 90s, I guess I was lucky that it's still working at all. Anyway, this video is actually me talking about the 2008 Professional Developers Conference, so let's just move on.
Now, the first thing I've thought about buying with my money from McDonald's, but I actually haven't done a job interview. I haven't done anything like that yet.
Well, somebody is certainly thinking ahead, already thinking about what you want to buy before you've even got the job.
I'm going to get a laptop computer with Windows XP, but I'm going to get a really crap one to start off. And
I love how my goal was to get a really crap laptop with Windows XP. Like, I actually aspired to get the worst thing I could find.
I've always wanted a laptop and I'm sick of a desktop, you know.
What's funny is that these days, I can't stand laptop computers, as they're hyper expensive spec-wise in comparison to the equivalent specs in a desktop computer. Back then though, it was all about having access to the internet while being away from my desktop computer. In 2019 though, that itch is solved with my iPhone 7 Plus. Anyway, in the final video, I discuss what laptop I should get based on what the members of an online forum told me.
They recommended I get an Acer Inspiration 1 as a laptop computer.
Wow, there's so many things wrong with this scene. Number one, there is no such thing as an Acer Inspiration 1. I believe I meant to say an Acer Aspire 1. And number two, why am I fiddling with a thick panda bookmark as I'm talking about a laptop?
And the Inspiration 1 thing is about $400, which is a little more than I actually wanted.
$400 and I'm saying it's too much. Well, spoiler alert, I ended up getting a $1,600 MacBook White a year later and an iPod Touch 2nd generation a couple months later. So stick around to eventually see me unbox that in a couple of episodes. But as of right now, this episode has come to a close. I'll see you in the next episode featuring November 2008.